With the stock market at record highs, are you prepared for the next downturn? Corrections can be unforgiving. Smart investors know diversification is the key to financial security. Noble Gold Investments make it easy to diversify with gold. With over $2 billion in sales, Noble Gold has helped thousands of Americans add gold to their portfolios. Open a qualified account today and receive 2 5-ounce silver America the Beautiful coins as a thank you. NobleGoldInvestments.com. Don't let the next correction catch you off guard. NobleGoldInvestments.com. So there's breaking news about the horrific crash over the Potomac. As you might remember, my hotel room in D.C. was literally overlooking the river where this happened. We didn't see it, but the sound, boom, woke up our sleeping son, actually, as it happened. Just a terrible situation. And the more that we learn, the more we realize this was so preventable. So there's some breaking news. The breaking news is that Reagan Airport employees arrested for allegedly leaking video of the D.C. plane crash. The Metropolitan Washington Airport Authority employees Mohammed Lamin McBooney and Jonathan Savoy, both of Maryland, are charged with computer trespass. They're allegedly saying that they were leaking video of the D.C. plane crash. I look at this differently. Usually I'm, obviously, typically very hard on crime. I think that it's good that the American people and the public was able to see this video. I think these guys are the modern day equivalent of whistleblowers, because who's to say that the power brokers or people would have tried to cover up the truth here? The charge is a misdemeanor, so they probably won't go to jail, but they're doing this to try to make a big claim about it. But think about how much misinformation there was about the situation, that quality video around this tragedy very well might have clarified it. The airport authority officials, according to USA Today, did not specify how the footage was obtained or distributed, but the viral video aired by news outlets shows the moment that a passenger jet and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter collided. It killed 67 people. Now, thanks to the video and also other reports, we're learning a lot about this situation. So the female pilot that was flying the helicopter, what we've learned is that the helicopter was flying nearly twice as high as it should have been. Now, understand that it was legally allowed to be and was up to one, it was twice as high it was legally allowed to be, and it was up to 1 mile off course. So whomever this pilot was, and we believe it to be this female pilot, was warned multiple times not to be in this area. The video shows that there was no evasive maneuvers when the collision was imminent. So there's 2 explanations here. There's only 2 explanations here. Explanation 1 is that our military is filled with people that should not be helicopter pilots, people that should not be in charge of flying people around. Number 2 is a much more sinister explanation that I think is very unlikely. In fact, I think almost impossible, that this was done intentionally. That's the only one of the 2 explanations. This person was a mile off course, flying twice as high legally, right near Reagan Airport. These Black Hawk helicopters have the ability to stop on a dime and to evade aircraft and munitions after being shot at. So how did it hit and basically collide with a commercial jet? Let's just watch this video one more time. Watch the video to remind you.
These videos, obtained exclusively by CNN, show previously unseen angles of the collision between an American Airlines flight and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. In the first video, the Black Hawk can be seen flying at speed over the Potomac from the left side of the screen. The American Airlines plane can be seen flying towards the airport before the 2 collide, causing a mid-air explosion and fall into the river. In the second video, you can see the Army helicopter and American Airlines plane travel toward each other. After the collision and subsequent explosion, the airliner can be seen spinning into the water, and the Black Hawk is also seen falling into the water.
As you can see there, it collides directly with a commercial airliner. So the more likely explanation is that Donald Trump inherited a military full of people that never should have been helicopter pilots. Now, they say, oh, this person had a bunch of hours and they were just training. Why are you training near a civilian airport? If there is even a 1 in a million chance that something like this could happen, no, go into rural Pennsylvania and go do your training. And why are you doing it at night at twice the height that you're legally allowed to be? These questions we may never get the answer to. I certainly hope we will. But what is it, 67 people that were killed? 67 people? The deadliest air disaster in more than 2 decades. And what is very important for all of you in the audience to understand, this was not a plane malfunction. This was not like a Sully situation where Sully takes off and a bunch of birds go into the plane. This was something that happened to the aircraft. So it's not even an indictment of the safety of air travel, which some people say, oh, I'm never going to fly again over this. Well, I think that's actually a really irrational response. Instead, the question is, why is it that military helicopters at night are even getting close to civilian aircraft? To repeat, it was twice as high as it legally was allowed to and was up to 1 mile off course. Was warned, get away, get away, get away, nothing. And the other question I have is, if there were flight instructors alongside that were grading her ability to fly, why didn't they intervene and say, get off course? By the way, a mile off course, that's a lot. 1 mile off course, that's a significant amount. And that there were no evasive maneuvers when the collision was imminent. So either they wanted the collision to happen, which I do not believe, or that they were so bad at flying and they had night vision on and they were so distracted that boom, they went right into a moving aircraft. And that is the other important thing to remember, that it was a moving target. It is a moving airplane and a moving helicopter, which means definitionally, an interception is actually much harder because you must time up 2 simultaneously very fast-moving objects in the air at the same altitude at the same time. Whereas if it's a building, it's obviously hard, but the building's not moving. So again, either this was done intentionally, which I do not believe, which I refuse to believe, or it was someone that didn't know what they were doing. And then, therefore, if they didn't know what they were doing, it was just like the worst dumb luck possible of 2 simultaneous fast-moving objects, one going 200 miles an hour, another one going about 120 miles an hour that happened to intersect at the same moment, and boom, kills 67 people. Everybody, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. We're doing so much good work here at Turning Point USA. We appreciate it. And if you listen to audio podcasts, subscribe to the Charlie Kirk Show podcast. That's Charlie Kirk Show podcast. We won, everybody. We won. I need to get this hat. Daisy, can you get me one of these hats? We won. And if you guys want a limited edition signed MAGA hat right here, last thing I'll say is become a member, members.charliekirk.com, to get a limited edition MAGA hat. We have 5,000 to send out, don't we, Daisy?
Over, like 8,000 now.
We have 8,000 hats I have to sign. 8,000 hats. God bless.